Hello students, in today's class we are going to study about the ethers, the introduction, classification and nomenclature of the ethers. Let us start with introduction part of the ethers. As we have studied in the previous classes, the definition of ethers, where ethers are defined as compounds formed by substituting the hydrogen atom of hydroxyl group of an alcohol or phenol by alkyl or aryl group. If you are having an alcohol or phenol, in that you will be having the OH group. That hydrogen of the OH has been replaced by either alkyl group or aryl group, then we are going to get the ethers. On the other hand, we have studied some more definitions of the ethers, like the hydrogen atom of the hydrocarbon is replaced by alkoxy or aryloxy group. We are going to get the ethers. This is the another way of defining the ethers. The hydrogen atom of the hydrocarbon is replaced by alkoxy or aryloxy group to give ethers. These ethers are broadly classified into two categories. One is simple or symmetrical ethers. Second one, mixed or unsymmetrical ethers. Now, let us see the first category, that is symmetrical ethers. Symmetrical or simple ethers contain the same alkyl or aryl group on either side of the oxygen. It is mentioned in the name itself, symmetrical on both the side, it is same. The definition is something goes like this. If the alkyl or aryl groups attached to the oxygen atom are the same, then they are called as symmetrical or simple ethers. Let us see one example. Dimethyl ether. Dimethyl, two methyl groups, CH3, CH3, or around the oxygen, on the both the sides of the oxygen, I am having the same methyl group, hence it is a symmetrical ether. Similarly, diethyl ether, two ethyl groups present on either side of the oxygen are same, hence it is simple or symmetrical ethers. The second one is mixed or unsymmetrical ether. In this you can easily make out unsymmetrical, both are different. Around the oxygen, next to oxygen, we are having two different alkyl or aryl groups, then they are classified as unsymmetrical ethers. If the two groups attached to oxygen atom are different, then they are called as mixed or unsymmetrical ethers. Example, in the first case we have taken CH3O CH3. Here one of the CH3 I will replace by C2H5. CH3O C2H5. In this one side you are having the C2H5, on another side you are having the CH3, hence it is unsymmetrical ether. Second example, ethyl phenyl ether. One side C2H5, another side C6H5, that is phenyl ring. Hence, both the side you are having the different ethers, it is going to be a unsymmetrical ether. Next, let us move for the nomenclature. The nomenclature of the ethers are very simple. Ethers are derived from the alkyl or aryl group. Whichever alkyl or aryl group we are taking, that we have to derive it. Once we got the alkyl or aryl group, then they have written as the two separate words. For example, you are having the two alkyl groups around the ether, CH3O C2H5, then one alkyl group is C2H5, one alkyl group is CH3. Both the things we have to write separately in the alphabetical order. Ethyl, methyl. CH3O C2H5 is there. One is methyl, one was ethyl. ethyl followed by methyl we have written, and at the end we have to write the ether. Let us take some examples. It will become very easy. CH3O C2H5, just now I have given. One was C2H5, that is ethyl. One was CH3, that was methyl. Alphabetically we have went. Then at the end, as we have written, we have to write the ether. Ethyl, methyl, ether is the name of this molecule. In case, if you are having both the alkyl or aryl groups are same, then we have to write the prefix as di. Example, CH3O CH3, C2H5O C2H5, C6H5O C6H5, those things we can write. Here we have taken the example C2H5O C2H5. Ethyl are there. Since two ethyls are there, diethyl. At the end, as usual, we have to write the ether. Diethyl ether. Similarly, you have seen dimethyl ether. In the IUPAC system, ethers are basically the hydrocarbon derivatives. So, in which hydrogen atom is replaced by OR, that is alkoxy, or OAR, that is aryloxy group. So, with respect to alkoxy or aryloxy group, we have to name the given compound. See in this CH3O CH3. Here parent chain was CH4, in which hydrogen was replaced by OCH3. CH4 minus H plus OCH3 is CH3O CH3. Common name is dimethyl ether. But in the IUPAC, OCH3 is methoxy. And CH3 has came from methane. Hence, methoxy methane. C6H5OCH3. OCH3 is the prefix, that is methoxy. C6H5 was benzene. Methoxy benzene. Similarly, in the third case, C2H5O C2H5. C2H5 is ethane. OC2H5 is ethoxy. Ethoxy ethane. C6H5O CH2CH3. CH2CH3 is nothing but ethyl. OC2H5 is ethoxy. C2H5 is benzene. Ethoxy benzene. The common name of methoxy benzene is anisole. Remember this one, important. In this case, C6H5 is the parent chain and this is going to be the prefix. How many carbon? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 carbon, methyl butoxy. The position of methyl is 1, 2, 3. At the third position, we are having the methyl group. Total overall this molecule is butoxy. This is benzene. So 3 methyl butoxy benzene. Similarly, C6H5O CH2 6CH3. Here, if you carefully observe, on the right hand side, whatever I have written, CH2 6CH3, total number of carbons are 7. On the benzene ring, you are having the 6. So, phenoxy, whatever, or benzoxy, what we will call, it is going to be the prefix, not the suffix. So, C6H5O is a prefix, that is 1 phenoxy, and here it is 7, that is your heptane. Phenoxy heptane. In this case, CH3 is the least one, that will become the prefix. Totally 3, propane, methoxy, propane. In this case, you are having again CH3CH, CH3, that is propane, but methoxy is at the second carbon, 2-methoxy propane. Let us move for the next part, that is your preparation of ethers. First method is by dehydration of alcohol. When you are talking about the dehydration of alcohol, something else will strike to our mind, because in case of alcohols we have studied one more important mechanism, that was dehydration of alcohol to alkene. During that, I have told you, if you change the temperature, we are going to get the ethers. With respect to temperature, the product will be either ether or alkene. How it is varied, we'll see here. When alcohols are treated with protic acids, H2SO4 or H3PO4, dehydration takes place to give the alkene or ethers based on the reaction conditions, that is our mainly temperature. How the temperature is going to be seen? Ethanol is dehydrated to give ethene in the presence of sulfuric acid at the temperature of 443 Kelvin. Instead of 443, if I use the 413, I am going to get the ethoxyethene. That means at the lower temperature, instead of elimination, ether formation takes place, and it follows SN2 mechanism, nucleophilic substitution bimolecular reaction. SN2 reaction takes place. That we will see in the next. Remember, at higher temperature dehydration, at lower temperature ethers will be formed. The same ethanol with same H2SO4 temperature 443, we have got the ethene. Here it is ethoxyethane, that is C2H5O C2H5. Remember, important note, because in the 1 mark this question can be asked. Just by varying the temperature, they will give the reaction. Same ethanol will be given, temperature and H2SO4 will be given, or H plus will be given. Write the products. You should look at the temperature. With respect to temperature, 2 different products will be formed. I have said the mechanism will be followed, will be the SN2, that is nucleophilic bimolecular reaction. Let us take the simple example, same, that is ethanol. In the first step, ethanol, when it is treated with H plus, as usual, nucleophilic attacks takes place to give oxonium ion, that is oxygen carrying the positive charge. In the second step, which is very, very important, another ethanol molecule will be attached. In case of dehydration, here OH2 whatever was there, it was eliminated as H2O because temperature was more. Here temperature is less, so another oxygen molecule will go and attack something like this, where you are going to get the oxygen attack at the CH2 followed by the elimination of water. In dehydration, first elimination to give us the carbocation. We used to get the positive charge on the carbocation, but in this nucleophilic attack, then elimination, and the product formed will be CH3CH2O plus along with CH2CH2. Same CH3CH2O, CH3CH2O as it is. This is CH2 is attacked to oxygen. This CH2 is here, and CH3 as it is. Like this, the new product will be formed. Now, as usual, in the third step, the removal of the proton, you have to do it. Here, oxygen carrying the positive charge, you are having the hydrogen, so this proton will be eliminated. This H will be eliminated, and oxygen will become neutral. And we are going to get CH3CH2O, CH2CH3, that is ethoxyethane. Most important question, Williamson's ether synthesis. It is used for the preparation of both symmetrical and unsymmetrical ethers. When alkyl halide is treated with sodium alkoxide, it will give ethers. Alkyl halide RH, where R is alkyl group, X is halogen. Sodium alkoxide R-ONA to give ROR-. If both R and R' are same, then the product form will be the symmetrical ether. If both of them are different, then product form will be the unsymmetrical ether. Let us take some of the examples. When ethyl chloride is reacted with sodium ethoxide, ethyl chloride C2H5Cl and sodium ethoxide C2H5ONA, we are going to get diethyl ether. To remember the product form, it is very easy. This Cl and this Na has to be removed as a NaCl. Both of them are the ionic. Na plus Cl minus will be written as NaCl. What else was remaining? One of the C2H5, here OC2H5. So combine them. C2H5, OC2H5 will be the product. Along with that, byproduct is NaCl. Similarly, methyl chloride, when it is reacted with sodium ethoxide, we are going to get the methoxyethane. CH3Cl, chloromethane or methyl chloride. Along with that, sodium ethoxide C2H5ONA, we will get CH3OC2H5 and byproduct is NaCl. When phenols are treated with NaOH, you are going to get the sodium phenoxide. Already the same thing we have studied in case of phenols. So, when you take this sodium phenoxide instead of the sodium alkoxide and you treat with alkyl halide, then again you are going to get the same as that of the ethers, but benzene ring will be the another part of that ether. So, phenol C6H5OH, we have taken in the NaOH, so OH will get converted into ONA, C6H5ONA. In place of alkyl halide, I will add CH3Cl, that is methyl chloride. So Na and Cl will be removed as NaCl. CH3 will go and attack to oxygen, that is C6H5OCH3, that is methoxybenzene, or common name is anisole. One of the important note, during the Williamson's ether synthesis, if you want to prepare ether containing substituted alkyl group, it always involves SN2 mechanism. Hence, it will be preferable if you take the alkyl halide as a primary. If you are having alkyl halide and one alkoxide group, for example CH3O, tertiary butyl group is present, then tertiary butyl group should not be taken as alkyl halide. CH3Cl should be the alkyl halide and tertiary butoxide you have to take. Because SN2 mechanism will be followed, alkyl halide has to attack. So alkyl halide should be the primary. Ease of the reaction will be more when alkyl halide is primary. To get the better results, we have to obtain then alkyl halide is a primary. In case of secondary and tertiary alkyl halides, elimination will take place. If the tertiary alkyl halide is used, alkene is the only product. For primary, ethers. For tertiary, alkene. For secondary, depending on the reaction conditions, how drastic reagents we have taken. Thank you.